Bam! Happy Monday, guys. We're alive, we're alive, we're well. Happy New Year, guys. We're back, on this live show where we talk about all things Airbnb, all things short term rental, and we give you guys tips and tricks on, what to look out for, the way to do it right, talk about designing, we underwrite deals, even call you a seller sometimes. This year, though, for 2023, we're going to have some changes. Not only that, we're going to have an announcement. We're going to do, people are going to love this. We're going to have an announcement and got a surprise for you guys. We're going to have this year, we're going to have lotto giveaways and just provide value to you guys. So we still keep this show going. Please make sure if you are new into this channel that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment every single. We're going to change the day, but we're going to announce it. But every single week, once a week, we go live at 6:30, 7 p.m. We're going to announce again. I'm waiting for my partner Hongmei. We're going to announce that once he's on here, and we go live and bring value to you guys, and we talk about all things Airbnb, private money. Look at this handsome guy. He's in the house. Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
What's going on, bro?
What's going on? I
How you
am
feeling?
excited. What's that?
Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year.
I'm more than excited, man. Again, guys, if this is your first time in this YouTube channel, welcome, welcome. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Leave a comment. If we never met before, my name is Mamadou Diallo, and this is my partner, Mr. Hong Mei. We're doing Airbnbs together nationwide. We have a lot of great things coming for you guys this year for 2023. And I'm gonna let Mr. Hong introduce himself. Guys, on the next show, I'm gonna have a cooler hairstyle than him. I'm just you guys can see well, but that's why he's handsomer right now. But just watch.
Hey, what's going
Introduce
on, everyone? My name is Hung Mai, and I have been in the real estate space for probably the last over a year and a half. I think I'm just coming short of like maybe 3 months or so, 2-3 months, and I went from when I first started to where I am now. I went from 0 to 15 properties in about 15 months, and that's
Boom.
just through consistency and doing and doing the work and honestly just late nights. Honestly, it's a lot of late nights,
I
and
don't know.
uh, I've had a lot of friends who ask me like, I don't see you out and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, I mean, I just that wasn't part. I had to pay the price, like there's certain things that you want and you have to pay the price. And so yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw something last night. Someone posted it. It's it was a interview of 50 Cent, and he says he envy people who have depression because he
Yeah.
feels like depression is a luxury.
The luxury, right? I
Depression is a
mean,
luxury.
you gotta have the time to be depressed.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you, if you need to get up and get it, like you have no time to be depressed, man.
Hmm.
Boredom is your biggest enemy. Like if you want to get into trouble, like start messing with boredom. You should always be packed with things to do. And I actually saw that quote, bro. That was so good. I saw that too.
Hmm.
But again, guys, entrepreneurship, it is what it is. It's super, super boring. But guys, let's get into it. So today we are going to talk about, you know, it's not always about the wins. Sometimes you do get losses as well. And so tonight we're going to talk about what you need to look out for when you get properties. And then, because oftentimes our business model is we get properties off market, meaning we go direct to seller, or we go direct to agent. But most of these properties that we actually get and we turn into Airbnb do need work, right, Hung? We have to
Yes.
come in, we have to, take it down, renovate it first, and then design and furnish before we can put it on the Airbnb platform or whatever other platform that we put it to monetize it as a hospitality
Right.
rental, right? The reason I'm using that term, guys, is because the business is not Airbnb. Airbnb is just a platform. Like Hungbear right now, he's making a killing on one of his properties because your tenant on that property is what is a insurance misplaced
Yeah,
tenant?
it's a insurance policy. They're being displaced because their house had uh, oh it had water damage. So like their pipe burst. So
Right.
they needed to get construction, get contractors in there and do it. But with
Mhm.
insurance companies, it's always longer, right, than
Right.
what's expected. So they originally thought they were gonna be here with us for maybe a month, 2 months
Mhm.
max.
Mhm.
And they just left actually like a week, 2 weeks ago, and
Wow.
they've been with us for 7 months.
7 months, bro. Seven
Seven
months,
months, yeah.
and this like they literally pay better than even Airbnb could, right?
So now, so the average rent for this area, this is like prime location in downtown Orlando, and
Mm,
so it's a three, 2.5, 1,500 square feet, 2 stories.
mm,
Typically, we're able to demand maybe 24, 22, 2,400. I would probably say in this area.
mm.
On normal occasion on Airbnb, we typically are able to do maybe 5 grand, 5,500.
Oh wow,
However, we with them we were able to bring in about 7,400 a month.
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, we
That
also
is
have another one in Dallas too, who's been staying with us uh, for month number 3 now for 15 grand.
right. Steady cash flow, right?
Yeah,
That's good. So again, guys, the business itself is not Airbnb, is the hospitality business. So there's so many different platforms you can monetize your property with. Now we're gonna go into the story on how Hung right now have a property. It's Louisiana, right, Hung?
it's in Louisiana.
It's in
Yes.
Louisiana. So that property is that a is it a sub two?
Yes, that is a sub two. That's my first ever sub two. So it's my
Oh,
baby. It is my
holy
baby.
moly. So, guys, first, homemade first subject to property. That
Hmm.
means he bought this property by taking over the seller's underlying mortgage,
Hmm.
leaving the seller's mortgage on their name and taking responsibility of the monthly payments, and
Yep.
essentially buying this property with no money and no credit. Free house. Okay.
Yep.
Now, Mr. Hung closes on it. Hung is local to Florida, right? Orlando more specifically. And
Yep.
so he bought this property in Louisiana. So this becomes a virtual project because you're doing this virtually, right?
Yep.
And so again, like most properties, Mr. Hung have to go in, renovate the property, get it up to speed, then he can furnish, design, and turn it into Airbnb.
Hmm.
Guys, if you're new into real estate, your biggest headache in real estate investing will always be dealing with general contractors. They are the worst human being you can ever deal with. I don't know if they learn, their behaviors at general contractors school. I don't know what it is. They
They
cannot
all
be,
went to the same school.
dude, it's crazy. They cannot be professional, number one. Number two, they always lie to you about the timeline. Number three, if they tell you it's gonna cost you $50,000, I promise you it's gonna cost you $70,000. So expect that, right? So it's and also if you don't know what you're doing and they know that, you're in trouble because they will inflate everything, all the prices. They will inflate the receipts. They will cut corners if you don't know what to look out for. And here is not that Hung, because Hung has experience, guys. Hung is not a new investor, right, Mr. Hung? So he does have experience, but the challenge with this one is virtual. Hung doesn't live there. If you're renovating the property, you better make sure you have somebody local walking that property at least 4 times a week. If you can every single day, if you have to pay them a fee to do so, this is called a project manager. And never, never, by the way, use a project manager that has zero experience in home renovation. Because if you do, they don't know what to look out for. And so what happened is, Mr. Hong, you have a partner on this property, right? You guys,
Yes.
you have a
Yeah,
unit.
I do have a partner, and he's also out of state as well. So he's not local there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh wow. Okay.
but because he has more of the expertise of on the contractor side,
Mm-hmm.
I've been leaning towards him more in this
Mm-hmm.
circumstances. And so the allegedly the part of where we were supposed to be done with by the time that designers, our designers coming to play, and
Mm-hmm.
they come in and they start working. By
Right.
the time that they come in, everything else should be done. However, this contractor was asking us for his last draw,
Always.
even though his work has not been done yet.
Right.
So and, it's like part of the trade. It's kind of like you can't get mad at children, at a 5-year-old, if they start acting up because they're 5-year-old, right? So
Right.
I feel like it's just part of the way that contractors are. And
Right.
so there was not anything that that we weren't expecting. However, it's a new twist when our designers had came the day that they came there, because they're not local there either. They
Right.
are from out of state as well, and they had to drive or fly there. um, and so when they got there, they saw that the house was boarded up. The all the
Crazy.
doors were boarded up, and they couldn't get in because the lock boxes were gone as well. And we also has a pod that I
Hold
had
on.
bought.
Before we even get to the story on that right there, let's go back a little bit because there's a lot of people, maybe even in the future, that's gonna watch it that are brand new, right?
Hmm.
So guys, when you're working with a general contractor, which is those licensed folks that renovate properties, one, before they start the work, you guys obviously have to have an agreement, and that agreement should have all the scope of work that they need to do. The flooring need to be changed, the bathrooms, whatever the house needs need to be specifically laid out in that agreement with the general contractor, and then a timeline need to be there and a price, right? So what happened is when Hung says the withdrawal schedule, let's say when you have an agreement with the general contractor and he says, hey, it's going to take me 60 days to renovate this property and it's going to cost you $50,000. Usually what happens is they give you a withdrawal schedule of, hey, give me 10,000 upfront and then 10,000, every 2 weeks. Oftentimes they will start calling you every single Friday, right? But you basically break it in pieces. So you don't give them all the 50,000 upfront. You
Hmm.
guys break it into payment installments. That's why it's called the withdrawal schedule. And so normally the way it should work is if you have a whole scope of work laid out. Number one, the first mistake to avoid, guys, is to be very vague when you're working with a general contractor. You guys have to be so specific, meaning if the floor need to be swept, it needs to be there. If a screw need to be taken out, it need to be there. If
Hmm.
there is a water leak somewhere and the color is green and the color should be blue, it need to be there. The reason
Hmm.
being is because they will send you a contract. Number one, never let your contractor send you a contract. You send them a contract.
Yeah.
Okay, I've made that mistake before, right? Because you have no experience or you're just rushing because you got to do things fast, right? And you
Hmm.
trust people because they sound nice. Everybody sound nice until you start paying them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they will send you a contract which says bathroom to be done. But what does that mean? Does it mean taking off the tub, taking off, gutting the flooring before putting new flooring? I literally had a one of my project hung. My GC tried to cut corners and he put the new flooring on top of the old flooring. That's how lazy he was.
Oh.
He didn't even gut the flooring. Why? So when we
Mm.
started arguing with it, he was like, well, it was not written on the contract. It just says new flooring. And so you have to
Gotcha.
write gut the house, right? Because that's how they work. That's how they start scamming you, right? And
Yep.
so you have to be so specific, guys. Number one, so you have to have the scope of work laid out every single thing. When I say every single thing, guys, every single little thing, make sure is in there that they need to do. That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, never, never, ever send them a payment before going and verifying that the work is done first. So let's say you give them a 10,000 to start the work. They have to gut the whole house. Before you send them the second $10,000, make sure you or your project manager, it should be a project manager if you're a business owner,
Mm-hmm.
right? You shouldn't have time. You're so busy buying other deals, you shouldn't have time to go to this. I'm telling you, like, it can become a full-time job, right, Hunk? It can literally become a full-time job. And
Yes.
so your project manager have to go walk the property and confirm that everything is being gutted, the whole flooring is being gutted, the bathroom is being taken out, everything is ready to go, all the flooring is leveled up, we're ready to install new flooring, all that fun stuff. Then you send them the second check, which is the other $10,000, so they can start installing the flooring, whatever. I'm just throwing a number out there, guys. It can be whatever, what you guys agreed upon. But this is the mistake we make because we send them the money and then we don't verify the work. By the time you know it, you already gave them all their money and they haven't done anything yet the right way, the way it should be done. But when you start renovating a property, guys, once you're in the middle of it, you cannot stop because you bleeding money every single day. You are absolutely bleeding money. So what happened with Mr. Hung is he has a partner that is not local. He's not local. The designer is not local. And so, dude, like, you told me that mistake offline, but tell me the huge mistake that you guys made as far as the project management itself is concerned first. Because
Yeah, I
to me,
think
when you told me the story, I was like, oh,
yeah. And because I think it's because this is our first project that is just like you said, like none of the people that we would typically trust are
right.
boots on the ground. So it's never dawned on me. And I've done projects that were out of state before, so I don't have a problem with doing out of state projects. But previous projects have been fortunately, I'd either have partner that's on the ground. I've either
Mhm,
have designers that were on the ground where like they're local there,
mhm,
or just people that I know. However, this is the one place where I didn't really have anyone on the ground. So my next I think easiest step for me at the time when I thought this through or didn't think this through was
mhm,
that I'll just lean towards my partner who has over 15 years worth
mhm,
of contracting background. So they
mhm,
kind of know how to handle the contractors. They know
mhm,
how to talk to them, and they know how to systemize things. Because if you come to me and you ask me like, okay, like how do I set up an Airbnb, I was like, okay, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3.
right.
However, if you come to me first thing about contracting stuff, I might be a little more hesitant before giving you an answer, right?
Right,
So
right.
I kind of lean it on him a little bit more, so just because of his background. So I didn't think anything was wrong, but now that I think like looking back, 2020 is hindsight is always 2020, right? So so we never would I think that someone would hold something of mine hostage if they didn't get what they wanted. And so the big surprise is basically when our designers had got there, um,
Mhm,
there were no locks on our pods, our storage pod that's in front of the house,
right.
because we were geniuses and we gave that to the contractor. And so
Oh my gosh. You guys gave
basically,
the contractor what? The code or what?
yeah, basically.
That's
So
something you never
um,
do.
yeah, something we'd never do again. And also, I
Right.
think normally what I also do is before anything, I set up Wi-Fi and I set up cameras so that way I can at least get eyes and ears on what's going on,
Yes.
in and around the house.
Yes.
However, this one, I think I was a little bit more nonchalant, even though I've
Mhm.
said it multiple times. I still take it upon myself to say that it wasn't getting done because it was, I didn't push for it. So
Right.
I think that's probably also one of the other thing. However, uh, by the grace of God, we have some witnesses of the neighbors who saw them. So that helps.
So,
But yeah, we're still working on that right now.
yeah. I think another mistake is, even though your partner has experience, right? Did you guys literally gave responsibilities out? Hey, you are responsible for the project management. Did you guys do
Um,
that?
I um I honestly for the project management it was more so towards my partner, who was, like I
Okay.
said, a contractor, and so he kind of knows what the ins and outs were. So I was actually
Right.
expecting that management side to be on him, just to make
Yeah.
sure that things were getting done.
Yeah.
However, I think again, I take that upon myself as well, as being
Yeah,
too
absolutely.
trusting.
The reason I'm asking is for somebody else to learn, because not only when you have a partnership, you need to be very specific on the responsibilities. Dude, we made the same mistake on mine in Clinton, right? So that one also we didn't specify because we're just making assumptions that, hey, this person, this, but you should never do that, because everybody
Hmm.
should know this is my responsibility. I need to be on top of things, because the huge mistake on this one is trusting the general contractor to be also the eye on the ground to look over a project that he's renovating, he's making money
Hmm.
from.
Yeah.
He has zero incentive to look out for you guys, right? And they are the worst people, by the way. This guy is literally the guy working on the project. So just so you know, guys, when you're working on a project, I don't care if the general contractor is your mom or your dad. I'm, literally, if it's your mom or your dad, have a contract fully laid out to the T. That's number one. Number two, don't trust them with the management. It's not their role. General
Yeah.
contractors, most of them, just so you know, you guys know, if you're new, they sub contract most of their work. Meaning, guys, you hire them, they're literally just overlooking their team that are actually doing the work. Some of them touch things, some of them don't. Doesn't really matter, but they should never be, because that's like almost like having the person that receive your money,
Do your bookkeeping.
do your bookkeeping, right? You don't want to do that. It's not exactly, you don't want to do that. So
Hmm.
this is what happened. So because the general contractor was also the one keeping an eye for them, obviously they never knew that nothing is getting done. Number one. Number two, I'm sure, guys, Hung, I'm sure you guys already gave him most of the money,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah, yeah. It's there's like one last straw, which is about I think probably 6 grand,
Yeah.
and so we're about to you know sue him if he doesn't return it pretty soon, because every time that now it's costing us double in what the designers are going to cost,
Mhm.
because they're going to have to stay there longer waiting for furniture, and then it's going to cost us more money now that we have to buy more furniture, because not all of it has been returned.
Mhm.
It's going to cost us more time being there. The opportunity cost of us not being online is going to cost us. So it's a lot of things, that kind of hangs up. And then also there's the cost, a holding cost as well. Like
Holding.
all of those things just kind of
Yeah.
start piling up,
Yeah.
and it can roll
So
downhill real quick.
that's the thing, guys. When the general contractor is late on your project, especially when you buy a prop, most properties, even if you buy cash, you have a loan on that property. You're paying interest every single month. But in Hung's case, because it's a sub two property, meaning they took over the mortgage, but still they have a monthly payment, and then they're all in zero money. They're using private money, meaning they went to a friend that have money laying down and lended them that money to use for the renovation, furnishing, and all of that. That person's payments is also there, and so all these things, 3 months delay can literally cost you 10, 15, $20,000. On top of that, guys, this GC stole all of their furniture and design that was delivered at the property, because they made the mistake of not putting a camera up front, right, and Wi-Fi, right, so you can see who's getting in and out, and that would have
Hmm.
also been a proof that somebody came with a truck and loaded everything. Just so you
Yeah,
guys know what we're talking about here, they literally stole everything. And
everything.
not only that, but he hasn't even done the work. The work is not. I think your designer flew in New Orleans what 3 times?
Yeah, yeah. It was
Three
delayed
times.
3 times. It was
Three
delayed
times,
three
guys.
times, and
If not done,
it's
that means you guys now gotta pay more to finish the
mhm,
project.
yep.
Number two, you're gonna be in a lawsuit to try to get what he stole back because now the problem is, yes, a neighbor saw him, but I think you were saying, Hung, when you guys reach out to the police, to the sheriff, I think, and all that fun stuff, he stole close to what, $10,000 worth of stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So he stole $10,000 worth of furniture and design, I guess, and he only returned 1,600 worth.
yeah. It was like maybe 1,600, two
Six-
thousand max. But
Right.
all like the big furniture, like for instance, furniture
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
couches or any big pieces like that,
Yeah.
it's nowhere to be found.
Right. So now you're gonna have to. This is the thing. Now everything pile up because now you're gonna also have to hire an attorney. An attorney, guys, cost about $460 an hour on average. All right. So you're gonna have to hire an attorney. Potentially have to sue this guy because if there is no like a real tangible proof that they did it, guess what? They will ask you to sue them. They're not going to be able, because he probably took this thing and probably sold it already. You told me he went to a cruise, right?
Uh, yeah, he the reason why he asked for the draw was because he was going on a cruise.
There you go. Right? So that's what they'll do, guys. A general contractor will put pressure on you every single Friday to get as much money as they can. So if you guys agreed upon $50,000, by the time you realize that they haven't done their work or stole from you, or like it's a shit show, by the time you realize you already gave them close to $40,000 or $42,000. Usually, by the time you realize it, you only owe them about 6 or 7 grand. I've been through the same thing, guys. I'm telling you guys, right? So if you are doing, if number one, if you don't have experience in renovation, you don't know material cost, you don't know you don't even know what a general contractor is. You don't know what a contract with a general contractor look like. You should never go into a renovation project. I don't care how much it costs. By the way, guys, you always end up spending more money even if you have a good reliable general contractor. Always, there is always something that come up with these renovations that you didn't expect. And
Mhm.
so before you go through it, guys, if you don't have experience, never do it without somebody that has experience, which is what Hung did. His JV partner, his joint venture partner, has experience. The mistake that they made, I don't know how you guys found the GC, and I've made this mistake before. I had a GC, the guy was so nice, bro. He's like, I was almost mesmerized by his personality. And I just
Mm.
I just trusted this guy will do what he's supposed to do. And I left my guard down and he did what a general contractor does. Shit show, take all your money and don't do the work that you're supposed to do. Delay the work, literally left in the middle of the renovation, disappeared.
Wow.
Send me a picture from the hospital saying he's depressed. Literally, bro. I didn't go through that one yet. That would be a good one. Right? So if you don't have experience, don't do it. But even when you have experience, that like this is the thing. Like I made that mistake even though I had the experience. What happened is I have my own team that I always use on my renovations, and they were already working on one property for me, and
Mhm.
the second property that I had was probably 1 hour drive from the project they're already working on. So I'm like, you know what? I don't want to stretch them too thin. So let me find somebody else and try that person for the other property. And I
Mhm.
got referred to that person, but even though I got referred to that person, I didn't do my due diligence, right? So guys, I promise you, the best way to like the fastest way to go bankrupt is to have the wrong general contractor on your project. It can be a nightmare. Literally, you're gonna go through a depression. You might even give up on real estate as a whole. You really gotta be careful with these people. So make sure you're partnering up with somebody that has experience. If you don't, that's number one.
Mhm.
Number two, never give them their money until you go verify that the job is being done correctly before you send the second withdrawal. Number three, have a project manager, even if you have experience, especially if you're a full time real estate investor. You don't want to become a project manager. Project managers, guys, just so you know, they don't cost as much as you think. You can have a project manager that you pay like 5, 6 grand to manage your. All they're doing is going there, walking, takes them about 30 minutes, take pictures, send it over to you. Oftentimes I'm saying if you have it in-house, they can do more and you pay them more. Like they can literally order material, they can coordinate with the GC, they know the price of material, they can order things online, right? The ideal
Right.
scenario you want, usually when you're working with a general contractor, guys, is you want them just to do the labor and you order your own material. Because if you have your general contractor, and I've made this mistake before too, if you have them order your material, whatever costs $100, they will charge you 110. All right. And so this is so important, guys. So a project manager, make sure you have it. If you don't have it or you cannot afford it, make sure at least you or your partner, one of you is a project manager, but you have to be local. You cannot be a project manager and not be local. We literally have a property in Texas right now, in Kyle, Texas, on the market. If it wasn't for the project manager on the ground that have experience, we would have been in trouble. And we had a good GC on that one. But even
Mhm.
with that good GC, we had delays, we overspent. It always happen. But at least we didn't, nobody stole our furniture, right? Nobody broke in. So guys, it's a nightmare. So these guys steal all of their they literally pulled up with a truck, stole all of Hong Mei's furniture and design that they ordered online on Amazon. A neighbor saw him, and
And they
not
took our
only,
cabinet's door.
oh my gosh, he even took the cabinet doors, guys.
Yeah, they took our cabinet door.
That is crazy.
So yeah, so we're you know, I mean, if they took the furniture is one thing, but how do you replace cabinet doors? Do you just have to buy a new set? Like I honestly haven't. They even took all of our light bulbs.
That's crazy, man.
That's how petty it
That,
is.
that is crazy, guy. And this is a guy that haven't done his work, but he feel like he should be paid
Mm-hmm.
for work he hasn't done.
Yep.
And he was delayed, and then he boarded up the windows to make sure nobody sees inside, so you don't know what's, is a chaos until you open it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, guys, I'm telling you, it becomes so stressful. So now Hunk or his partner literally have to fly to New Orleans and try to find a solution, right?
Yep.
So, guys, I'm telling you, if you're renovating properties, if you have a property, because oftentimes, listen, most properties that you get, if you're direct to seller, direct to agent, most properties that you get off market or even on market sometimes at a good deal, they do need a little bit of work. And so you always have to do something. Now, renovating a rental and renovating a Airbnb and renovating a flip is three complete different things. A flip and an Airbnb is a little bit closer because you gotta go all in. You cannot do, especially if you want to like maximize your cash flow and whatnot. You cannot just come in and just put carpet and paint and think it's gonna do it. It's not gonna do it, right? So, so Hung, if you had an advice to a new person getting into this, whether they find an Airbnb arbitrage or whether they find a sub two, what advice would you give them to avoid this mistake? Like, what do you think? What are the steps? Because obviously, you guys burned lot of steps.
Yes,
Every
we
time this
did.
thing
Yeah.
happens, is like self accountability, right? You got to look at yourself and go, "Shit, we effed up."
Yeah,
So,
for
what do you
sure.
think one should avoid to get themselves in this situation?
I think one thing is for sure it's just like you said, making sure that we know exactly for sure what is line item by line item of when draws are being pulled before draws are being pulled. Have they done that work for that week or the prior
Right.
week before it's released? I think that's one thing that we did semi okay. It wasn't like too crazy. The other
Mhm.
thing was, again, like biggest part was having boots on the ground. Like that would have saved us so much time
So
and
much,
headache.
so much.
And then also having I think moving forward, there was a lot of things that was kind of up in the air in terms of like timeline. So having a dead timeline on when things need to be done,
Right.
it's really crucial.
Mhm.
And making sure that all parties, myself, either any JV partners and the contractors are on the same page. And if they
Right.
don't meet that, then there's penalties,
Right.
in the future, right?
Mhm.
Because the every day that we don't get listed are days that we're also not holding on to more costs, but then also losing for potential revenue for the future, because
100%.
you don't know what kind of holiday is going through, that we're missing. So
Mhm.
for instance, most of the time in most places, the holidays are the biggest time of the year, right?
Yeah.
It's where you can get the largest booking
Mhm.
per night,
Mhm.
in most area of the country. And because of the extended time, we lost Thanksgiving, we lost uh, Christmas, we lost New Year's.
Right.
Those are times where people are willing to spend more just to be
Yeah.
around family. And so, um, for those reasons, like just extending it not only costs you more money, but the opportunity cost of making money back too. It's really challenging.
Crazy. It's super
Um,
challenging. Yeah.
but yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest things is just having a set timeline and having
Mhm.
people with the right roles that you've
Right.
assigned
Right.
know what they're doing. So
Right.
that way things are getting done and keeping each other accountable. I think that's probably one thing that I could have done a little bit better, because our my designers was also on board early on, and
Mhm.
she gave us a list of like items that we needed to buy, which was assigned to my partner. However, I think
Mhm.
because I wasn't on top of it as well,
Right.
I've let some of things fall through the cracks. So by the
Right.
time they got there, they're like, "Hey, where's the stuff at?" I'm like,
Right.
yes." Um, so that's one of the hard conversations that you just kind of
Right.
have to fall down on the sword for,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
it's part of the learning curve. But
Yeah.
overall, I think I always say, like I was telling Mamadou early on, I was like, this is how the year is starting. It's only up from here, guys.
Well,
Like
you're welcome here. You
that's it.
cannot go,
I mean,
cannot go back.
I had my girlfriend, ask me like, aren't you stressed about what's going on? I'm like, yeah, I'm stressed, but there's no point in like actualizing it, right? Because
Yep.
I can't
Yep.
do anything, and
Anything.
stress doesn't
Yep.
help me solve the problem. So
Yes. Absolutely
um,
doesn't.
so that's probably one of those things
Yeah.
as well.
Guys, honestly, what helps you solve a problem is self accountability.
Yeah.
That's it. Every time something go wrong in whatever you're doing, just look at yourself and go, hey, where did I messed up? Before you even look at somebody else. So again, like I told you guys, me and Hung, we have a project right now in Maryland. Clinton, it's the same thing, right? I had to really face myself and say, hey, dude, you let your guard down. That's number one. Number two, there was no accountability, even with the partnership, right? Because even when you have partners, guys, I don't care how much you guys know each other or whatever, the roles should be written down black and white, very specific. Hey, this is your responsibility. Make sure you're on top of it. Hey, X, Y, and Z, this is your responsibility. Make
Yep.
sure you know who's doing what, who's the project manager. Guys, everything needs to be let out because I promise you, if here's a quote. If no if everyone is responsible, then no one is responsible.
Yes, for sure. Because everyone assumed that someone else is doing it.
Boom. If everyone is responsible, guys, nobody is responsible. Okay. And so here's for you guys that are new. Again, guys, if you're new into this channel, please make sure you like, subscribe, smash the notification bell. We do this every single week. We come in here, provide value to you. We underwrite deals. Hong may go over and show you how to underwrite Airbnbs. We show you how to get into the Airbnb business with no money at all. We'll call your sellers, give you guidance, all that fun stuff. So make sure you like, subscribe, smash the notification bell. And you know what? Leave a comment and let us know what other topics you want to hear about. All right. So, guys, if you're new into the real estate business, here's how you vet. The key takeaways before we call it a day here, guys. Here's how you vet a general contractor. If you're about to do a renovation project and you're about to hire a general contractor, number one, first and foremost, make sure you get a referral. Do not,
Yes.
I'm telling you, like, avoid going and Googling people, avoid finding them on Facebook Marketplace. Avoid, like, have somebody that refer you to someone that they used before. That will always be your best bet. That's number one, your best potential. But number two, even if somebody refer you to a general contractor, right? You want to vet them. There's few things you need from a general contractor to know if, even if they have the experience in the first place. One, you need to see their portfolio. You need to see what have you done before. Send me your portfolio. Let me see your work. Okay, guys, I'm telling you, it sounds so obvious, but a lot of people don't do it, including myself. You just forget it because of time pressure. You know, you're in a rush. You like you meet somebody, they're so nice, and you completely forget about all those things. Oh, is a referral from my mom? So I'm afraid to ask that type of question. Even if it's your mom, tell her to send you her portfolio pictures. If you don't have it, don't hire her. All right. I don't care who it is, bro. Okay. So one, see their portfolio after you get
Especially
the,
if it's your mom.
especially if it's your mom. Exactly what I was gonna say. If it's your mom, you should even have two portfolios, not just one. Because with family, it always goes south, right? I mean, oftentimes. But like you want that. You want to see their portfolio. So you want to see pictures and addresses of properties they've done before. And listen to this, guys. There's a lot of general contractors that will send you a portfolio and is not their actual portfolio. It's easy to send you a renovated house. That's so easy. What you need is the before and after. A professional general contractor should have this. Okay, that's number one. Number two, there you go, Howard, exactly. Number two, guys, number two, once you verify the portfolio, you're comfortable, you like the work. Number two, what you want is you draft the contract or find somebody that have more experience than you and have them give you a contract that they've used before with a general contractor. Make sure you walk the property with them, you or your project manager, and go over every single little detail. Make sure it's written down. Make sure they know exactly, yes, this is part of your work. The trash that you see here, you're going to have to take it out. Part of your work. Make sure it's written down. This window is broken. Make sure it's written down. These blinds need to be taken care of by you. Make sure it's written down. Guys, when I say every little thing is, if they have to buy you coffee every time you come to the property, make sure it's in the contract. That's how detailed you need to. I promise you guys. General contractors, the reason most of them work almost their whole life is because they cannot be professionals. That's why they don't own a business. They literally grind their whole life. Okay. So make sure you do that. Make sure everything is written down. And every single little detail is addressed on the agreement with the general contractor. That's number one. If you don't have it, by the way, guys, DM me on Instagram or DM Hung, reach out to me. We also do provide the services where we literally will help you, consult you, show you the things you need to avoid. Not only that, we'll help you do the paperwork. I will literally help you do the paperwork. I'll have my in-house transaction coordinator do this for you. Okay, not only that, and I'll show you also how you can find project managers if you don't have it, right? But make sure you have that. Make sure everything is laid out. And then make sure that you only pay them for labor and you order your own material.
Yes, that's a huge one.
Number three, order your own material. Do not have a general contractor order your material. You order your own material or you hire a project manager that knows how to order it so they can order it online. Every single store, most stores, guys, have a website where you can order from online and have it delivered to the property on time. Okay, guys, once you have the scope of work, you know exactly how to start ordering. Should I start with the cabinets? You know exactly. You say it, right? So
Yeah,
you order.
I mean, we Mamadou can attest to this. We just got a quote, and our bathroom, it's cost. I feel like it costs more than an MRI scanner. You know, like anyone walks in there, you're free of cancer. That's how I feel like it.
Yes, we were sitting.
That is with material or no. That's not with.
That's
No,
without
that's
material.
without materials. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the Airbnb we have in Dallas, guys. We were on a Zoom and we're going through the general contractor's code, and he was like, I just didn't know what to say. I just had to like be quiet. But anyway, so guys, you want to make sure you buy your own material. Now, here's another thing. This is where also, guys, please remember, build your network. You gotta have people around you that have more experience than you do, because literally somebody that have more experience than you can consult you on these things. Guys, I have friends I can call and say, hey, I'm struggling with this right here, I don't know what to do. How do I order this? What store is best? What prices? What should I look out for? They will literally help me do it. So build your network. Like literally, if you don't have a network, you're like this real estate stuff. If you try to do it by yourself, good luck. You can't. Nobody does real estate by themselves. This is a sport, a team sport. Okay. So make sure you only pay the general contractor for labor and you order your own material, have it delivered to the project. Make sure you keep track of everything you delivered. Ideally, I'm telling you guys, if you can, on every single project, doesn't matter whether it be Airbnb or flip, a ring camera is so cheap. Buy a freaking ring camera and install it so you know who is getting in and out. Because people can steal your material. People can come and steal your literally your electrical and plug. Like, trust me, like especially in certain areas, when you're renovating properties. Number 4, I think it was number 4, guys. Number 4, make sure you have a project manager. If you have somebody experienced to help you order the materials, help you vet the GC and all that fun stuff, again, like I said, guys, we will give you those services. If you don't have it, reach out to us, we'll help you out. But if you have those, and let's say your whoever is guiding you and consulting you is actually out of state as well, here's what you do. You hire somebody local still, somebody with a little bit of experience. Or you know what else? I'll give you a tip, and I've done this before. What I do is I go on Zillow and I Google real estate agents that have sold a minimum of 5 properties in the area. Minimum 5 properties in the area. And I want 1 or 2 of those properties to be fix and flips, meaning properties that have been renovated and sold. What does that tells me? That tells me that real estate agent work with investors. And I reach out to that agent, and here's my pitch, guys. Hey, Mrs. Natalie, I have a property on 123 Main Street that I'm about to renovate, and I am going to need an agent to list the property for me when we're done with the renovation. Are you looking for more listings? What do you think the answer would be, Hung?
No. Of course, it's yes.
Hell yes. It's not even a yes. Hell, and they will give me a boom, boom, boom too.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's what you call a lap deal, right? Like when you get a phone call and you say, hey, would you be interested in doing X, Y, and Z? Yeah. And I have everything set up already, and here's the deal. Bam.
Here's the deal, right? So, hey, I have a deal. We're about to renovate it. I'm going to need an agent to list it. I saw you sold X, Y, and Z. I'll literally give them the addresses. I saw you sold this property recently. Are you interested in working with an investor to list their property? Yes. Okay. Hey, do you have any experience with renovations? Right? Are you a little bit familiar? I literally ask them these questions, guys. Why am I asking these questions? Because I am paying these people. I'm going to pay them. If you're new into real estate and you don't know the costs of selling a home, on average, by the way, is 8%. And 6% of that goes to the agent. What does that mean, guys? That means when you hire a real estate agent to sell your property, we call that a seller's agent. You will pay her a minimum of $10,000 to help you list the home and sell it. So you're paying them, okay? Not only you're paying her, but you're also paying the buyer's agent, meaning the agent that will bring the buyer to the table. So on average, to sell a home here in the US, if the average price point is $300,000, it will cost you $20,000 to $25,000 just for the agents alone before closing fees, okay? So you have the right to ask them every single little question you want. Why am I asking the agent if she has experience with renovations? I'm not, by the way, some real estate agents do fix and flips. So they might. But some agents, even though they've never done it themselves, they've worked with so many investors, they've listed so many fix and flips that they understand the cost of material. They understand what to look out for when they walk the property. They've done so many inspections with inspectors, because after you renovate a property, especially when you fix and flipping it, the lender send in an inspector to inspect the property, and usually they always find something that you need to fix. And so if an agent have been through that multiple times, guess what? She knows what to look out for. Hey guys, the electrical is not well done. We're not going to pass inspection. Please redo it. Hey, this is not the right recess lights. Hey, this is not the right paint, right? Because she's done it. This is why you want an agent that have done at least 5 transactions in the area. And those homes have to be homes that have been renovated and sold on the market. And that's the real estate agent. If she checked the boxes, you want that real estate agent to be your project manager. And I promise you guys, I would offer her a little bit more money for that, because that can save you so much. A project manager can save you so much money with this. You have no clue. Save you money, save you headaches, save you nightmares, save you from going bankrupt. Because you can go bankrupt, especially for those people that only know how to do cash deals and go take hard money. Like, you can go bankrupt. Absolutely, you can. Okay, guys. So I don't know what you think about this strategy, but this is how I do it in a market where if I don't know, like I don't know anybody at all, but now me and you, our network is so big that in most states, we actually, if we make the effort to reach out, because our project in Kyle, bro, the boots on the ground and the project manager is a sub 2 student. That is a builder. He sells new builds and understands his game. He refer us to the general contractor that they use on their project, and his son is the one listing our property too.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Right? So if you don't have a network, then you need to hire somebody.
Yeah.
But before you hire somebody, vet them properly. What do you think about that strategy?
No, for sure. I mean, that I think that's literally how I'm gonna approach all future projects from now on. Because if I don't, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have to sleep there for I'm gonna have to sleep there until it gets done, probably. That's the only other way I know how. I mean, this is my baby. So I really enjoy what I do. And so none of this, it has been, obviously there's like up and down, and you only get to see the sexy side of us making money and all that stuff. But I think this is the parts where a lot of people don't hear about, which we'd love to share, because it's part of the journey, right? Like you can't get to the end of the rainbow without going through a little up and down, right?
Yeah. So whoever tells you guys they only have wins, they're freaking lying to you. Here's the thing though, with an entrepreneur and investor, is we're not afraid of losses. That's what we signed up for. I literally expect sometimes to lose, but as long as my wins is bigger than my losses, it's perfectly fine. That's what I signed up for. I will never go to a 9 to 5 just because I had a hard time with a general contractor, guys. I move on. Once I move on, I learn from it. I know next time what mistake not to make, and I'm done. I'm not going to repeat the mistake, but I'm not going to sit there and cry about it and feel sorry for myself, guys. That is not an entrepreneur's mindset. So right now, this is why Hung was saying, yes, I am stressed out, but I'm not going to sit there and think about how stressed I am, because it's not going to help me activate my left brain so I can start finding the solution. Like right now, I need to focus on the solution. And that's what great minds does. All right, guys. So guys, please type in the chat, whether you're just chilling, watching us right now, type in the chat your 2 or 3 takeaways. Howard is saying, such brilliant. Do you ask for references from contractors and well as portfolio? Yes, bro. You ask both. You want the references and as well as the portfolio. And whoever doesn't want to give it to you, I promise you, is a huge red flag. If they don't want it, there's a reason why they don't want to give it to you. Either they don't have it, or 2, if you were to call those references, trust me, you probably somebody's probably suing them already. Okay. So like right now, if I were to reach out to Hung and say, hey, Hung, I need a general contractor in Louisiana. or hey, this general contractor told me to call you. They did such a great job for you. What would you tell me, Hung, if I call you about this guy to verify?
I would tell. I don't know who is a good contractor, but I can tell you one guy you should avoid, right? And that's
Right?
what network does, man.
That's what it does,
It
right?
helps you
So
avoid some of the landmines.
absolutely, guys. So please, guys, drop in the chat one takeaway or two or three takeaways. That's number one. Number two, again, if you're new into this channel, my name is Mamadou Diallo, and this is Hung. I keep saying Hung May, but it's actually Hung Mai. This is Hong Mai, my partner and brother from another mother in Florida. We do a lot of Airbnb deals together, guys. He literally has his own Airbnb mentorship as well. And make sure you reach out to him if you need that as well. But guys, please leave a takeaway if you're new into this channel. Smash that notification bell, leave a comment, let us know what other topics you want to hear about. Now, here's the thing, guys. We're going to change it from Monday, and we're going to choose a different day than Monday. The reason being is because it conflict a little bit with other, heavy hitter shows going on with Pace Morby and all that fun stuff. And so we are going to change it. We'll probably do Tuesday or Wednesdays, but we're gonna announce the date. Okay, guys, that's number one. Number two, guys, listen, we are coming up with a 90-day challenge where we'll every single day for 90 days, guys. The goal is from 0 to 10,000 cash flow within 90 days with Airbnb. So we're gonna do that challenge. You'll be able to see us live. We're gonna call, rentals, try to get Airbnb arbitrages. We're gonna get Airbnbs creatively. Nothing cash. We don't want nothing cash, guys. We're literally gonna challenge ourselves to only do creative deals or Airbnb arbitrages. And then from 0 to 90 days, we're gonna go from 0 to $10,000. Show you how easy it is, because I know most people can't quit their 9 to 5 with just two Airbnbs if they were to just put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
If you
And,
don't
and
like your
and
job,
and also the thing is too is like I know one of my biggest challenge when I first got started was capital. Like I didn't have the money.
yeah,
You can do this without even the
you do that.
capital to get
Zero
started.
has zero capital. All you need is resourcefulness, and that's what we're gonna show you. How are you able? We're gonna literally, guys. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the work. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be streaming. We're gonna be calling, comping the properties, talking to these sellers. So you see, once we lock it up, you see the whole process, and you can do the challenge with us. It's gonna be 90 days, and from 0 to 90 days, we're gonna go for $10,000 a month, and then ramp it up from there and show you how this ish is done, bro. I think this was dope today.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
I agree. Please, guys, let us know your key takeaways. If you're watching this in the future, leave us a comment, smash that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All right, it really helps us. Other people probably sitting there need the same help that you do. And guys, we do this for absolutely free, and we're looking to do more. We're super super excited. We have a lot of surprises and giveaways for you guys in 2023. Trust me, you're not even ready for what we have in the back. All right, Mr. Hung next week will have his freaking YouTube channel ready. I don't care what he need to do. Next week by Monday, you guys expect to also be able to go to his YouTube channel and subscribe and like. But you can follow him on Instagram. Let me see, Mr. Hung. Why don't we see your name?
I wrote it. It should be in there. As a
So
Hung V My.
I don't know if you guys can see, but his Instagram is at Hung V Mai. So HUNGVMAI, right?
Yes.
Guys, follow him, man. Look at this handsome man, bro. Follow him. Guys, this is the Airbnb king, I'm telling you. Like, hands down, this guy knows his stuff. Like, he literally knows his stuff. He's super passionate about it, locked in, he's super focused. You call Hong Mei about anything else, he's like, I don't know about that. Do you have an Airbnb? Literally, that's his love language. So, guys, again, thank you for watching today. And we'll see you. We'll announce the day, but it's probably most likely going to be Tuesday.
Okay.
But we'll announce the day, and I'll make sure we announce the day actually tomorrow. So look out for the new date, look out for the date for the challenge, and I hope you're ready to take your short-term rental and hospitality business to the next level. Mr. Hung, one last word for them.
Whatever that's holding you back, your insecurities, your doubts, you think that you can't do it because of something that something or someone told you that you can't do, you have to keep reminding yourself that you're still here, right? Regardless of everything that has happened so far up until this point, like you're still here. You've had aspirations as a kid that you've always wanted to do. Remember when we were kids, like anything that you wanted to do, that you had these big goals and big dreams that no one was that you could achieve it, right? And no one could tell you otherwise. Like
Right.
do things that that kid would admire today
100.
if you had to achieve it, or just start working on it, because that's what I'm doing right now. Like I'm trying to impress that kid of when I first started, because remember when we were kids, like dying was not part of anything in the back of my mind. I could jump off a building, I'd be fine, right? You were invincible. There was no diseases, right? You were invincible. And so like I would implore you to, just take a moment and think about all the dreams that you had when you were a kid, and, realize it. Like, do the first step, whether that's like your health, or whether that is something that you've been, trying to do. But instead of saying that I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z, get rid of the word trying. Just say I'm going to, or I'm not. Like, be honest with yourself, and you're honestly is going to be way better where you were or where you are now from a year ago, because no one has done anything great by saying I'm going to try something, right?
Yeah.
And one of my students that has never had any history of real estate, who is actually my high school or middle school friend, and he just started seeing me on Instagram. And by after I think a couple weeks now, he just signed his first lease for his Airbnb property, and he's setting it up right now. And afterwards, once it's done, he's gonna net like $2-3 grand a month from $10,000 worth of investment, right? And so it's possible. And I was just telling him, like, I told him, like, your success does not start until you get that first booking at night when you go to sleep. And then you wake up to it, and then you screenshot it, and you share with me what you feel at that time. Because making money when you're not sleeping has always been in the back of your mind, but it's not real until you actually feel it. And I really want everyone to feel that. It's that, like, I think everyone is used to actively going to work and then making money, but they don't understand the feeling of what it feels like to, like, wake up to a reservation or a booking, whether that's in Airbnb or anything else. But Airbnb is all I know. Just waking up to a reservation, it's mind-blowing, because it's the work that you've done months and months and years ago, and now it's still making you money because you've done it once. Like, I really want everyone to feel that. And so, like I said, do something that your younger self would admire if you were able to meet them now.
Guys, just this alone, I'm telling you, wasn't this worth the value of you being here, or if you listening in the future? This is so good, man. This is so good. So please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, because this is the type of nuggets we'll be bringing. Listen, until you start making passive income is money that comes in even when you're sleeping. Cash flow. Active income is when you have to wake up and go to a 9 to 5 and clock in and work. That's active income. It is the most taxed income of all. Passive income, guys, is whether you, like, think about this. Real estate, if you have an Airbnb, that Airbnb don't take vacations. It doesn't take a leave for sickness. It doesn't get tired. That house is always grinding. That house is always working for you. That house is your employee, right? Is always working for you. It doesn't get sick. It doesn't go to vacation. It doesn't disappoint. As far as what I mean by disappointing is, like, oh, I think I'm tired. I'm just gonna change careers. Like, guys, passive. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you in real estate or whether you into other type of businesses. Always go for the cash flow. Cash, guys, cash is trash. Cash flow is king. Forget about
Honestly,
what.
I mean, literally, the last 5 minutes, I and I tell you this not to like, impress anyone, but just to share with you what's possible. Like 5 minutes ago, as we were on this Zoom, one of my properties, we just got a 2-week booking for $8,000,
Boom.
$8,400.
Boom. While you're sitting here providing value to other people, what is your property doing?
Working.
Passive income. That's what I'm talking about, guys. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And I promise you guys, my phone is on flight mode right now. But if I turn it on right now, I'm gonna hear ding, 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 alerts either from bookings or from tenants that send checks. Guys, passive income. All right. So, guys, this was great. It was great hanging out with you guys. Hung, you're awesome, man. That last part was so motivating. And this is why I love you, bro. It's like, you got your heart into this. You really love helping people. I've never seen somebody that is also so good at the hospitality business as you are. You truly care about people. That's what connected us when we met in Orlando, and we became brothers from another mother. You know what I mean? So great things coming, guys. Be ready for the challenge. A lot of giveaways. I promise, a lot of giveaways. We have a lot of surprises for you guys. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Real Estate DLO, and make sure you follow Hung on Instagram as well, and is at Hung V Mai.
Yeah. Yes, and just wait. Once my my account starts, I'm gonna order a webcam and this whole setup thing. It's gonna be amazing.
You better. You better see a mic, man.
All right, I will. I will.
All right, guys. And guys, we're out. This was how to build a short-term rental, hospitality, Airbnb business creatively, and we did it. Boom, 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 boom.
Later.
Later.